Hello everyone, and good evening to everyone, or good morning if you're in Australia. Welcome to A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. Now, I wanted to, first let's talk about how you can find me. If you want to find me, you can find me on Facebook, which I've got 2 accounts, and that's Gail Moffat, spiritual medium, and you can also find me on gailmoffat.com. So please do find me if you need to speak to me. Now, I would quite like to talk, up until now we've talked about how to open up if you're a medium, and how to work in the power and the importance of sitting in the power. And this week, what I thought would be a really good idea is to talk about one of the faculties of your mediumship, and that is clairsentience. And when you are clairsentient, what you do is you feel, you sense, you feel everything around you. And so if you think about somebody that you know around you, and just visualize them and see how they feel, then you will sense something, you sort of sense a sort of a knowing of, oh, well, that's that person. And you can compare it to sensing somebody else. And so that's how you can sort of, stimulate your clairsentience. I think actually everyone should be able to do that, because I believe certainly everyone has a psychic faculty, and that is part of your psychic faculty as well, your clairsentience. So I think, everyone who's listening, have a go and see what you think. But as a medium, I also have to sense the spirit and the spirit world, and sense things about them. And that's how it's slightly different when you're a medium. And what I think is quite important as a medium is to be able to sense and blend the energies and look at how what the person was like and everything about them. And this is something that only, if you're a medium, you can do this and connect in a way that enables you to actually understand the person that you're communicating with. Now, so energy is just vital for when you're sensing things. But it's not just human beings that you can sense. You can also sense animals and how they feel. You can sense children and see how they feel. You can sense trees. And plants. Everything that's living has an energy. And everything in our world has an energy. And so energy is just something that is a real good starting point to understand your psychic and mediumistic faculties, to just be aware of your surroundings and aware of how things feel. And, in my mediumship, what often happens is I might get a sort of a feeling in the middle of my chest. And when I get that feeling, I know that somebody's passed with a heart attack. And so, I might, so my clairsentience works in a way where it shows me how people have passed, or certain conditions that they struggled with. And then also, you can sense people. You don't have to sense them, the people that are in the room with you. You can sense them from, I can sense somebody that's in Australia and I'm in England. So the other side of the world, I can sense people. And that's just, it's just about putting your awareness to that point, to that person, which enables you to sense things in a strong way. Now, I hope that sort of makes some sense. It's very quick, but I, do like to sort of do a little bit of a talk before we start. But I really want to get on to the readings, and I know that somebody is waiting. Donna in Lake Park, Georgia, is waiting. Hello, Donna. How are you?
I'm great. How are you tonight?
Oh, I'm good. And what a lovely, cheery voice you've got.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
And how is Georgia?
It's good. It's hot, but it is good.
It's hot. Okay. Well, I've just recently flown back from Atlanta. Okay.
So you know our weather here and how everything is.
Oh yes, it's hot. Hot.
It is definitely.
I'm sure it gets cooler in the winter, though, does it?
It does. We do have a nice change of season, so in a few more months it'll start cooling down, and hopefully we'll have some cooler weather and the leaves start changing. Oh,
fantastic. Well, anyway, I'm sure you came for a reading, so how can I help you?
Well, I'm just very excited to have one done, and just anything that you can see or feel about me, or that you think I may need to know. I would just be very grateful to hear that information.
Yeah. Okay. As you're talking, I'm sensing a grandmother in the spirit world around you. And she's saying to me that it's very important to be around you at this time of year, because I feel that this time of year is quite significant in your family. So there must be some anniversaries or dates that are significant at this time. Does that make sense to you?
Well,
I feel like I want to go into August. We're coming into September, but it's generally when they come through is there's a birthday or an anniversary of the passing.
Yes, my mom's birthday is Friday.
There you go. I knew there was some. Yes, and it's a grandmother that's come through. And she says, and I feel that it's your mum's mum that's coming through.
Okay.
And she's just so excited because she wants to come and celebrate her daughter's birthday, and she's just literally placed a cake on my lap. And she's been ever so diplomatic because she's only put one candle on, so she's not discussing the age of how old.
Well, that's good. That's always good.
how old your mum is, and she's just saying to me, well, we wouldn't do that sort of thing in our family. she's quite funny, and she's saying to me that there was a period of time where there was a little bit of separation between your families. Does that make sense to you?
Well, yes, I would say so. Probably just when she was younger.
It's like a geographical distance is what I'm picking up.
Yes.
Not a distance in relationships, but a distance geographically.
Right, I believe it was just geographically.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. She said, and she said that was a period of time where she absolutely hated it, because she's saying that she didn't like to be too far away from her daughter, because she loves your mum, and she says that she found it very, very difficult, and she's saying to me that she's really pleased to be. I think there was what happened is there was changes that took place in your family, which meant that she could be closer to you. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
And she was just sort of absolutely delighted because I feel like it's her making the decision to be closer to your daughter. Does that make sense to you?
I guess so, yes.
Does that mean a yes or a no?
Oh, yes.
Okay. And I just know that so I know that there's this whole important thing about family with your grandmother and being close to everyone. And I feel like also there was a period of time where there seems to be a period of time where you moved away or she wasn't in contact with you so much. Do you remember that?
Well, yes, because I generally live in South Florida, and I am just up here now for my mom's birthday. Right,
yes. Because she's talking about how the same thing has happened the next generation down. And she's trying to talk to you about how it was so important for her to become close to her daughter. And I think, now, I always say, if your grandmother was here saying this, you might say, oh, all right then, whatever, and then go and do your own thing and make up your own minds. So please don't look at it as, oh, well, she's in the spirit world all-knowing and this is what I've got to do. Because she's just got her opinions in the way that she wants to do things, just as she would have when she was here. And I know that she's trying to encourage you to be closer to your mum.
Okay.
And she would like that, because I feel like, does your mum ever get a little bit lonely?
I think so. I think she does.
Because your grandmother is telling me this, and she's just a little bit worried about her and would like her to have a little bit more company. And she just feels that it would be nice if that you could all live in close proximity rather than such a great distance. And she's saying to me that your mum needs you more now, more than ever. Does that make sense to you?
It does, yes, it does.
And also there's a dog in the spirit world as well.
Well, I have several, and so my mom does as well.
Yeah, because I can just see a dog sat by the side of your grandmother, and she's sort of looking after the dog. So I know there is at least one that she's showing to me. I have not seen any others. I'm just seeing one at this point. That doesn't mean to say they're not there with her. It's just that my ability as a clairvoyant.
Sure, no, I understand.
And I also feel that your grandmother is talking about, towards the end of her life, I feel like she had a little bit of arthritis, and I feel like I want to call it rheumatism, which is an old-fashioned word, isn't it? So it's like my joints on my fingers were a little bit sort of sore. Does that make sense to you?
Not for her.
Maybe she's talking.
Yeah, my dad who is living, but he has it very badly.
Okay, well maybe he's talking about him, because I know your grandmother is drawing my attention to my fingers and sore hands, and I feel like I've got really sore fingers with arthritis, and she's referred to the word as rheumatism, which I think is an old-fashioned word, isn't it, for arthritis? I don't know. Maybe it's a different condition. I don't know. But so she's talking about the arthritis, and she's also saying to me that she worries. Oh, yeah, bless her. She worries about your dad too, because she's saying to me, I liked your dad, and we got on quite well, and she's saying that he was a great support to her at a particular time in her life. Do you remember that?
It could be. I don't remember it. It just may have been that I was, too young at that time.
Yeah. And I feel like there was support over when she was moving. So would he have been around then when she moved to be nearer her daughter? Because I'm just getting that sense. I just get this sense that she very much likes your father, and is very very fond of him. But she is worried about him, and I feel like she's making me look at him like it's not just the fingers. There are other parts that are a little bit sore in the joints, and I feel a little bit fragile in a way. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, he because he does. He has the arthritis all through his body. Yeah, and I feel also I'm a little bit so I'm struggling to walk, and I'm a little bit hunched over, and just I'm fragile. Mm-hmm. Correct. Yes.
And she's saying to me that she hates to see him suffer in this way, because he was such a different man when he was younger.
Yes.
Because I feel like he was very active and very able and capable, and he's just so different now.
Mm-hmm.
Does that?
That is very, very true, and I know that we do worry a lot about him, and as well as if there would be anybody around him that, might be harming him in some way.
Your grandmother is just saying to me that she is actively trying to send healing to him from the spirit world, and she regularly does this to try and ease his discomfort, because is your mum and dad separated in some way?
Yes, they have been for many, many years since I was a child.
Right. Yes, I felt like they're in different places, and she, so I know that she's she wants to let you know that she is doing her utmost to help your dad, and she wants to come and wish your mum happy birthday, and she's giving lots of love to you. I'm going to have to leave it there because I've got another caller waiting. It goes very quickly, doesn't it?
It does. Well, but thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Donna. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, so I've got Sarah in St. Louis, Missouri. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. And how can I help you this evening?
I was looking to get a reading.
I'm a psychic and I'm a medium. So how would you like me to connect to a loved one or look at aspects of your life? And where would you like me to focus? Because I've only got 8 minutes left.
Okay, actually, a friend of mine who just passed.
Right, what's his name?
I don't know, I'm kind of wondering, you know, she passed in a sudden car accident. She has 2 kids that she left behind. She's the second.
Okay. Don't tell me any more, and I'll see what, and I'll get her for you.
What was that?
Don't tell me any more, and I'll see if I can get her for you.
Her name is Shelby. She was 24 years old. She had a...
Right, okay, because I sensed that she was young, and, you know, I could feel that about her, and I know that she's saying to me, you know, I feel that I have her here, that she's saying to me that I have arrived in the spirit world safe and sound. And she says that there are other young people that you would have known and she would have known that she's met up with in the spirit world. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Because it's not, you know, we think of it mainly being older people, but there are other young people that you both knew that have passed to spirit, and she's very pleased to have met them. And she's also saying to me that she was a one in her life for doing everything very, very quick in her life. And what I mean by that is I feel like she does things, you know, quite, when she was quite young, where normally people would have done things older. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Because I feel also there's something about, did she have a teenage pregnancy?
A what?
Did she become pregnant in her teenage years?
Yes.
Because I felt that, and she's saying to me, I was very young, and she said that, she's saying to me that when she got pregnant in her teenage years, I feel that you would have known her at this point in time. Is that correct?
Yes.
And she's saying to me that you were a great friend to her and helped her with emotionally you helped her through that period of time, because she's saying, I don't think I could have got through that period if it hadn't have been for you and the support and the help that you gave to me. And she's also saying to me that when there's something to do with the father, because I feel like I sort of don't have a great deal of respect for the father. Does that make sense to you?
Are you talking about her father or the father of the children?
Father of her children.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Because I feel like that she's saying to me that he didn't support her in the way that she'd hoped, through, you know, post the pregnancy, and it's like it's an up and down relationship, and had, you know, problems. It was quite problematic. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And she said that throughout all of these times, you were a constant friend to her, constantly there for her, constantly supporting her. And she's just feels so incredibly indebted to you. She's also talking about, I feel like there's an older lady that's there in the spirit world with that she's met up with, and I feel that this is her grandmother, and she's just letting you know that she's there with her grandmother. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
And she said that she's saying to me that I always had a good relationship with her, because I feel that she had a problematic relationship with her parents, and so it was always so much easier with her grandmother, and she's really pleased to be able to have reconnected with her grandmother, because she loved her so much.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
And she's saying to me, now, are you involved in some way with looking after her children?
Yes.
I don't feel like it's a big permanent thing, but it's like there's an input from on your part. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
And again, she's saying to me, I so admire you and so grateful for your help and support that you give to me and my family. And she's actually saying to me, I love you for what you do and who you've been for me and the friend that you've been for me. She's so incredibly indebted to you.
Wow.
And did you know her when you were a lot younger as well, like a child, or through school?
More like teenage, like high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's remembering times of when you were naughty together. Because I feel like you were quite naughty.
Sometimes, yeah.
And she's just remembering those sort of times. And did you ever skive off school together?
Yes.
She's telling me about it. So now that it's publicly on air that you used to skive on school.